Right now, there's a lot of jinx builds available, right? You could go Yunta, like I recommend. You could go Essence River first. You could go Collector, like many people want. Collector Opportunity, what? You could go what Double Lift is doing right now, which I tried. Like you go BF, pickaxe, and then like Boots, Runan, and then finish Infinity. Then buy Phantom, right? You speedrun the crit chance for free items, like very cheap items. You can do this if you want. Or hey, you like Kraken Slayer? Go Kraken Slayer, right? There's so many builds. So what is the correct build right now on Jinx, guys? This is the question we are all asking. We don't know what's correct and what's not anymore. So what do we do? Well, first we gotta talk about how now nobody knows what's correct, and that's okay. The split has been online for like 3 weeks, right? Kinda, maybe, right? So we just don't know what's best or not. Like we have no idea. We can't say which build is better. We can look at DPS testing in practice tool, basic attack DPS, for basic attacks, minigun, rockets, crit, no crit, Kraken Slayer, missing health, passive. You can just compare all the damage you want, cheaper items over expensive items, and you know what? All the damage is very similar. The damage you deal is similar no matter what you build, right? That's it. It's like, yeah, like you buy Kraken first because you want to have an item spike at one item because games are short. Sure, you can do that. You're strong now, and then later in the game you kind of fall off a little bit, even though you go crit because it takes longer to buy that crit. Personally, I like buying crit because you just scale the best with crit, and Yuntal is the most damage you can get on first item buy when it comes to full crit. Yuntal, Rune, and Infinity LDR, boom, 100% crit chance, the most damage for crit items that deal the most damage, right? That's what I like. But at the same time, it's like, look, I played this item, like this build, and I like this one as well. Why? Well, because it has other things that Yuntal build doesn't have. For example, on Yuntal, you need to start pickaxe, like a longsword, and then like buy crit cloak and buy non-quiver, right? That's Yuntal build. This build path, you start BF pickaxe whenever you can afford. If you can afford, you start working towards your boots, buy more daggers for Runa, it doesn't matter, right? And if you have pickaxe and BF, you can farm easier. You don't have to buy crit early. Buying crit early is annoying because it's like crit is not good value early game before your first item. That's how it is. That's how crit works. It's better late game as you get more and more crit. Right? So, and also if you buy crit early, it's harder to farm. It's very annoying to buy crit early. So you buy this and that, and boom, 65 AD. You just two-shot the enemy caster minions. When you buy these two items, you have insane wave clear. Your damage is good because you have stats. You buy attack speed after this into Runan, right? And when you buy Runan, you don't even start with Cloak of Agility. You start with the Slingshot and then buy another dagger most of the time. So you just buy damage. It's like the Static Shiv Kraken build I used to take. Buy AD, attack speed, deal damage. Boom, that's it, right? But this one actually scales better because you actually invest into crit, right? So every build has ups and downs. This build is kind of nice because this is kind of how it works. At the same time, this is less damage at 4 items compared to replacing Phantom with Yuntal, right? You could replace this with Yuntal and deal more damage. But this build basically makes it so you buy Infinity Edge, the only crit damage item in the game. You buy your LDR, the only armor pen with crit item in the game, or Mortar Reminder. And then you just buy the cheapest crit items possible. So you get your 100% crit chance instantly, so you get a ton of value out of Infinity Edge, right? That's kind of how it goes. Is Yuntal build similar? Yeah, it's very similar. This is more attack speed, more fun, I guess. You know, it's like there's ups and downs to every build. Again, it's personal preference. So whether you like Yuntal, you like Essence River builds, those are good on Jinx actually. Underrated, I would say. You like Collector because you like to get those executes and more kills for yourself. Go for it. Who's stopping you? Do it. Why don't you do it? And there's no correct or wrong build. Like, every build is different. Go with what you like. Try them all. See what likes. Go with that build. It's that simple. Okay? As long as you don't buy AP on Jinx, you should be fine. Okay? Don't go on hit Jinx because she has no AP scalings. Okay? And you'll be fine. Actually, just go on hit. At least you deal damage, right? As long as your build has some logic behind it, you should go for it. And remember, there's no best build. When you go Yuntal and people flame you, mute. It doesn't matter what they say. That build is fine. If you like Kraken first, People complain, mute. That build is fine. If you like this double leaf build, it's fine. Doesn't matter. The damage between the builds, again, is very, very close. They each do something else. They each do like help you in a certain like way based on your playstyle. I personally like more attack speed. That's why I refuse to go collector opportunity and stuff, because I like attack speed, right? And that's okay. It's okay. If you're like a Draven Caitlyn player, you will like collector on Jinx more because that's what you're used to. Big shots with big damage, no attack speed. That's what you like. That's okay, right? Always remember that in every game, always there's a build that's optimal for that game. It's just that we are humans, so we cannot know for sure what that build. Because sometimes, maybe it's good to go shield bow first item. Yes, this bloody shield bow, right? This item. Yeah. Go this first if you're against Talon, Zed, and Evelyn. Go for it. It's gonna help you. Doesn't matter. Okay? If you like to play for 2 items and deal big damage to items, go static shift. It doesn't matter. Do what you want. That's the conclusion. And just experiment. Here, right now, I'll keep playing with this build. Why? Hey, this build also gives me Run and Hurricane faster because this is cheaper than Yuntal or Collector or Essence River. This gives me Run and faster. Right? Or, oh, you play against Xerath, Caitlyn, and something like that. Go Rapid Fire instead. Go Rapid Fire. You don't have to go Runans. Personally, I like Runans because it's such a fun item and Runan helps you out of combat on Jinx insanely much. Like, you one-shot the waves. It's so good. It helps you be in fights faster. It means you're not farming and in danger. And it's just so cool. Right? But if you want to go Rapid Fire, if you want more attack speed, more speed, go like this thing, Phantom Dancer. Go for it. Who's stopping you? It's okay. Personally, I just like Runan the most, and I like crit and attack speed the most on Jinx. So that's what I go for. I either go Yuntal, either go Infinity, or I go this Abomination, and that's kind of my playstyle. But again, if you're a different player, you might want to go less attack speed, more lethality-ish, more damage, you play for the resets, right? But remember, if you do that, the enemies have tanks, you deal less damage to them. Again, every game has an optimal build, but we are humans, we don't know which the optimal build is, because it's hard to know everything. We have a limit to our knowledge, you know? So, on average, though, you want to choose a build that works good in kind of every scenario. This is why I really don't recommend going the collector opportunity. I feel like it's just not good in the current meta because people just buy a lot of armor in general. There's more tank players right now because they're so strong, right? So generally, whether you want Kraken first or not, collector first, just go Yuntal first or just go this thing, like up to you. Choose what you want. Again, go what you want. It's good. That's all I had to say. Builds don't matter. I feel like if you change your build a little bit each game or you have a slightly different variation of the builds, again, damage is similar. What matters more is how you actually play the game. And that's it. That's it. Right? So when you see me changing my build, don't be like, oh, whoa, I need to go. I need to play this. This is the new best build because Tony's playing it. Yeah. No, not really. Not really. It's like, you know, like while Yuntal on paper deals the most damage right now, if you go into practice tool and test the damage, Yuntal is superior. A lot of people don't like the item, and that's fine. You don't have to like it. You can go collector if you want, and the damage is very similar anyway. And yeah, you might have less basic attack damage, but the serrated Dirk helps you more in the early game with the lethality you get. And the executes might help you get more ults and kills with ults. Sure, that's okay. Hey, you have mana issues like me? Go Essence River. Hey, it's good, right? Just adapt based on your needs, right? But personally, I like to be consistent. So once I kind of find the build I like, I kind of stick with it for a while, right? Like how I just started playing Yuntal again. You know, and look at this. Yuntal just wins me games. It's good, it's working. Look, I can carry with Yuntal. It's crazy, right? And then I switch to this build and still, games are still fine. No problem, right? It doesn't matter what I build. They are the same almost in damage, okay? Yeah, like you can do whatever. That's the conclusion. And the most important thing to remember is to not care about other people's opinions. It's easy to look at the build when you're losing the game and say the build is bad. We lost because Jinx builds no damage. And then when you win the game with that build and you're fed, it's like, oh my god, this Jinx is cooking. Wow. That's what people do because they don't know better. And that's it. So don't get upset if people complain about your build. They're not playing the role, whatever. Don't listen to them. It's fine. Good. Hopefully this clarifies everything about builds right now, okay? Hopefully. Because right now there's no best thing. It's just nobody knows better. Nobody knows what's best right now. The meta is still very new. It's very fresh. We don't know what's best.